Phillies lose it 7-4 and drop this first game of the series to the Kansas City Royals. Welcome into Postgame Live, presented by Curado Insurance. Ashlyn Sullivan, Ricky Bo here with you. The offense sputtered once again for the Phillies. We're left with a lot of questions. Ricky is going to try to answer them. What is going on?
What is going on? Taijuan Walker, number one, I wouldn't put him back out on the mound. Yeah. Definitely not as a starter. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but, I mean, this guy, this has been a failure from the get-go here. And whatever was ailing him, I don't know if it's still ailing him, but he doesn't look like he's able to get many people out. I mean, he was getting pounded around the ballpark. At one point, in one inning, I believe there were 7 100-mile-an-hour hit baseballs. In one inning. That's hard to do. I mean, you have to literally be throwing batting practice to have that done to you. And he went out that and did that, giving up 3 runs in the third inning. He doesn't have a lot of put away stuff, and he put his team in a hole, quite frankly. I mean, you're talking about going down 6-1 in a ball game. You're not really feeling real comfortable about that, and especially the way this team in the top of the lineup's been hitting, you don't feel like they're going to score many runs at all. This is a team that, you know what, you got to get better starting pitching than that. Some guys' bats did awake, but it was too little too late in a game like this.
Right. It felt like all the momentum was gone in this game after that terrible inning from Taijuan Walker, and you have a 6.26 ERA and 13 starts this season. So, of course, I think everyone's in agreement that you can't put him back out there, but then you're left wondering, now what? What do you do?
Anything. And I'm being completely honest. I mean, you got Gilbert out in the bullpen. He was throwing the ball well today. Why don't you put him in the starting rotation? Try anything, just not this. I'm sorry. You know what? Taijuan Walker was a good pitcher. Taijuan Walker right now is not a good pitcher. When you got a guy that can't get anybody out, what is the use? What are you really throwing a guy out on the mound for? I mean, he got hit hard today. That doesn't happen in baseball every day, what we just witnessed. And he's a type of guy that is stubborn. I mean, he's given up a lot of home runs since he's been back. I believe that's 4 now since he's been back. He does not look like a guy that could just kind of snap it back into play and he's going to have good stuff again. I mean, maybe a lost cause at this point. Do something. He cannot step back on the mound, especially as a starter right now for the Phillies. Not the way he's been throwing the baseball. This is a guy that leaves way too many balls out over the middle of the plate. He doesn't have a lot of life on his fastball, and he's really kind of depending on a split that hasn't been there all season long. You know, you try to go out there and pitch like this, it's not going to be good for him. It's not going to be good for the team. He threw 78 pitches in 3 innings. 78 pitches in 3 innings. Let that sink in. And by the way, I know you people are out there. I saw the tweets right when he was pitching tonight. There's a lot of people very unhappy about the way he threw the ball.
Big time. Basically, everyone in Philadelphia doesn't want to see another Taijuan Walker experience is what we're hearing. But 2 more years, $18 million per year is definitely dicey as well. So you're left. What is the future here?
But what are you really left with? Where does he fit into the puzzle? I mean, I understand. You know, you have $18 million in 2 straight years. Maybe it was just a bad signing. It does happen. It does happen, and it has happened in Philadelphia before. But how do you look at this? How do you go about this? Do you try to package him in some kind of a major trade that you can make? I don't know if anybody else is going to want him either at this point.
Well, at this point, you're definitely not even helping your cause with a trade candidate. Because
you're not helping your team now, and if you really believe that he's going to help your team down the road, I doubt it. I mean, the way you go about that is you hope like Andrew Painter is 100% ready come next year, and he's not going to cost you a lot of money, so you kind of write it off.
Yeah, that's the hope at least. Definitely a situation the Phillies have to figure out as we go back to Kansas City to check in with Ruben Amaro Jr., who is standing by after calling this game against the Royals. The Phillies dropped this first game of the series, Ruben. And all the talk, of course, is about Taijuan Walker, and you just heard Ricky mention it at the top of the show. How would you handle this situation?
Yeah, it's a tough one because he just hasn't been very effective. I mean, you want to start off this series, especially with a team that's playing this well in the Kansas City Royals. You want to do a much better job of holding them down, and it does take a lot of wind out of your sails offensively when you get down this early, get down that many runs early in the game. He just does not have the kind of stuff right now to get major league hitters out consistently. I know that they've tried to do everything. They've given him some time to build back his arm strength. He just is not sharp with his overall stuff, leaving a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate. Guys are taking very good swings, high exit velocities on him. I mean, they're hitting the ball very, very hard on him. And either some sort of adjustment's going to have to be made, or they're going to have to get him out of the rotation because they just cannot afford. The Kansas City Royals did some damage against Taijuan Walker. Like I said, I mean, I don't know what the average exit velocity was on
Phillies had 10 guys hit a 10 guys hit a ball over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good sign. I know they've been working on it, and they've been trying to do their best to concentrate on making more consistent contact, and we did see that today from the Phillies. Unfortunately, they didn't get the pitching performance to match up with the fact that they swung the bats pretty well. But again, pretty good sign as far as the offense is concerned, because it's been a concern in the last series, and hopefully they can start rolling and continue to swing the bats well, because this is a very good starting pitching staff over here with the Royals. If they can get into that bullpen, they can do some damage against it.
That's the hope, Ruben, and at least you're seeing some things click at the plate offensively for the Phillies after a rough go in Atlanta. But now I think everyone wants to know the answer to this question is, what do you do with Taijuan Walker's spot if he doesn't roll back out? What do you do with that fifth starter?
Well, I just don't know what the choices are. You may have to use a combination of, if in fact they do not start him again, and I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but if in fact he is not the guy, then you're going to have to mix and match. I mean, is it Colby Allard? Is it somebody that comes from the minor leagues? I guess some people were talking about Mick Abel at some point. I don't know that he's ready. Honestly, I don't know, because I don't watch those players play, what the choices are, but you may end up having to piece it together at least for a little while until someone can step forward. But the key is that the top four guys in that rotation, and the fact that they're getting Ranger Suarez back, that is huge for them. It's pretty important that he bounces back, because again, when he's on, he can be one of the best left-handers in the league, and hopefully that can happen and help assuage a little bit of the feeling that people are having right now about the overall rotation.
That is definitely the hope, Ruben. Thanks so much, and we will talk to you tomorrow for Game 2 of the series.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
And that just summarizes the past week, right? How this has
It summarizes the past couple months now. I mean, that's the part that I guess we're failing to see. It's easy to say, well, you know what? You had a 4-2 record against the Marlins and Nationals. Those two teams are not very good. And it is coming to a thought process of a lot of Phillies fans that, you know what, the Phillies are going up against these teams. Yeah, they beat the Nationals, they beat the Marlins, but what is going on? You're struggling against the Braves. You're struggling now against Kansas City. When does it end? Mm-hmm. When does it end? Because I know what people are thinking. People are starting to think into the playoffs, and they're saying, wait a minute, we're going to be playing all these teams that we struggled to win a series against.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what's going to happen. I mean, when you look back on this game, a lot of hard-hit baseballs. Both sides. I mean, you look at the Phillies, they had 10 balls hit 100 miles an hour. I mean, that's hitting the baseball a little bit. But it didn't help that the Royals had 13.
Right.
So, I mean, both sides were hitting the ball hard, but the Royals were able to hit a couple over the wall, too. That's something the Phillies have been missing also. And nobody's saying anything about the power outage. You know, all we'll hear from, Topper is going to be, well, we're going to slug. We're going to slug. They're down to 30-something games left in the season. Yeah. I would think the slugging might want to start now.
And speaking of that, with 34 games remaining in this season, let's go back to Kansas City and hear from manager Rob Thomson.
So what did you think of Taijuan tonight?
Well, I'm encouraged by the velocity, but and really should have gotten out of the first inning. Weak ground ball, base hit, kept the inning alive, and then Perez hits the ball down the line. But in the third inning, everything was in the middle of the plate, so it's command. But I am encouraged by the velocity.
What do you think is preventing him from getting ahead in counts, just in general?
I think it's just more attacking the hitters, but then you don't want to be in the middle plate all the time. So it's kind of that's one of those things. But yeah, he gets behind and then he has to come to the middle, and that's when he gets hit.
Do you think he'll make his next scheduled start?
I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet.
What, I guess, at this point makes you confident that he is going to turn it around?
Well, just the velocity jump, but you still have to command the baseball. And the split was okay, but they're a lot of times they just take. As soon as they see it, they take it, and it's out of the zone. So he's got to get that in the zone.
What did you see from Marsh at the plate tonight?
Well, that was good. He used the field, squared the ball up, I think, 3 times. Especially the last one was two strike pitch, and he turned on. I think it was 99. Yeah, he stayed balanced. Head didn't move. Used the field. Good pitch steal. I was encouraged by our bats tonight. I thought they were a lot better. I didn't think we chased as much, not nearly as much as last night. And we used the entire field. We moved runners. Marsh gets the base hit, and was it the second or third? Our first run, I think it was the third. And really, he was just trying to move the runner to third base and gets a base hit. And then Hayes comes up, and he tries to hit the ball the other way too. Kind of jammed himself a couple times, but then he ends up getting a base hit and then strike out and double play. But I was encouraged by how we swung the bats, used the field, didn't chase and try to manufacture some runs.
Were you happy with the at-bats against off-speed tonight?
I was, yeah, and especially the takes,
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you got to do. You got to get guys in the zone, put pressure on them.
Sunday starter?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but Ranger is starting tomorrow, and so the subsequent move was we optioned Tyler Gilbert to Lehigh.
Yeah, that was just one of the options of the Kansas City Royals, just hitting the ball really hard tonight.
Yeah, that was one of them, but I think it was added, I think Taijuan Walker just helped them out. You keep throwing the balls in the middle of the plate. You saw that one. It's a breaking ball out over the middle of the plate. You got to be able to locate something, whether it be any pitch. You know what? The heck with it. Somehow get a fastball on the inside corner. Somehow get a fastball to the outside corner. Somehow throw your split over the plate. How about every once in a while you hit a spot with a breaking ball? It works. It works. This is not working for me.
No, it's certainly not, and not for many others. Taijuan Walker done after 3 innings. Let's go back to Kansas City and hear from Taijuan Walker.
The outing overall?
It wasn't good. Not throwing the right pitches in the right counts, getting behind in counts still, giving up the home run ball. Just hasn't been good lately, especially, want to help the team as much as possible. Obviously, I feel like we're not playing great, but it'd be nice for myself to be able to pick the team up, and I just haven't really done that, so it's frustrating.
What do you see as the biggest reason for your struggles lately?
I think it's just getting behind in counts, just not attacking the zone, not putting myself in good counts, and that's probably the biggest thing. Really, it's just leave balls over the middle because I have to, because I'm getting 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, and that's really the biggest thing.
You feel good physically?
I felt great. I mean, it felt really good today. Probably the best I felt. Felt loose. Thought the ball was coming up really good, and everything felt really good today. But again, just not getting ahead.
So what makes you feel confident you're going to be able to turn it around?
I know that I'm better than this. I've proven it before, and I just got to keep my confidence and know it's going to turn around, and really just trust my stuff, and just attack and just really trust everything that I have, and know that I'm better than what I'm showing right now.
Well, Taijuan Walker saying all the right things here, and you heard him ask what is wrong with your game right now, getting behind in counts, not attacking the zone. Ricky, in your opinion, what's the biggest issue?
Velocity. I mean, when you look at a guy that was throwing 95, 96 miles an hour last year, and you can get that means you're going to be able to get away with some splits that you leave out over the middle of the plate. If you're throwing 90, 91 miles an hour like he was tonight, I mean, I'm talking about a 4-seam fastball, and his sinker was right around 90, 91 miles an hour. When you're throwing like that, that means you better be a little bit more pin placement. You better be able to place a pitch exactly where you want it, or else you're going to leave stuff out over the plate and it's going to get hit hard. We talk about Aaron Nola. Why does he get hit when he makes a mistake? Because he doesn't throw as hard as all those other guys. You notice Zach Wheeler can make a mistake and get away with it. You look at Taijuan Walker now, he's at 0. He's at bottom line. You make one mistake, it's going to get hit hard.
Right, and it just seems with Taijuan Walker right now, you're left with 34 games in the season, and we've seen the struggles really the past month and a half where it feels like right now if they don't do something, it's too late.
Here's the problem. He's lost 8, or the Phillies have lost 8 straight when he has started. Is that helping your team right now? No. By the way, the NL East is down to 5 right now, so that's a little bit of an issue. Then you look at everything else going around you. You can't afford to keep him in the starting rotation. I think it's that simple. I think it's just one of those things where if you keep him there, you may continue to pile up losses in that spot.